To be continued! And then, because sequels weren't so common back in 1978, but then Universal! Yes! Let's take a look. Halloween 2, Universal Studios did the sequel, taking place shortly where the last one went off, Laurie telling the kids to go get help. That happened towards near the end of the last movie, having a different song track, which is pretty unique, showing it is a sequel.
Call the police. Tell the sheriff I shot him.
Who?
Tell him he's still on the loose.
Is this some kind of joke? I've been trick-or-treated to death tonight.
You don't know what death is.
It's never the same having the same kind of music over and over again. It's good to mix around. And a great opening. It looks almost like similar to the opening of the first one, but we get to see a surprise of what happens with the opening credits in part 2. Laurie Strode is taken to the hospital. Michael Myers is stalking the neighborhood still on Halloween night, later on at night. And it looks so exciting what he does. And decides to kill someone along the way. And he takes...
Who is it?
Alice? Where are you?
Who is it?
Gary Hunt of the Haddonfield Police Department says he believes the suspect will be apprehended within a matter of hours. Neighbors say they heard screams during the early evening, but attributed the noise to the usual Halloween.
And he takes a knife from somebody's kitchen, and the lady comes to make a ham sandwich. There's blood there. She's like, ah! So perfectly done. And so he kills someone along the way, and what did that person do wrong? We later on discover that Laurie's in the hospital, and there's sleazy nurses and doctors, and making sarcasm and stuff like that.
Michael Myers.
Come on.
I swear, yesterday when she was coming to work.
What did she see?
You know the shopping bag out by the mall? Well, she stopped at a light and saw him walking in that field behind the Lost River Drive-In. Julie said he was so creepy.
Julie's full of shit. He didn't escape until last night.
Well, you don't have to swear, but...
Well, she's a goddamn moron anyway.
Every other word you say is either hell or shit or damn.
Sorry. I guess I just fuck up all the time. Amazing grace, come sit on my face. Don't make me cry, I need your pie. But why don't you just shut up, all right?
And Laurie is drugged, and it starts to go downhill a little bit because it's a little bit too slow. Yeah, I'll have to say that. But it's interesting showing flashback moments of Laurie talking to her parents, saying that it's not her natural, that she was adopted or something like that.
Anything. I told you. I'm not your mother.
And Samuel Loomis tries to still find Michael and then the sheriff, he's a basket case after he finds out what happens to his daughter Annie. Ooh, just perfect. Perfect sequel showing what happens after. but we don't see Tommy Doyle or Lindsay Wallace anymore. It's like they didn't exist anymore. So, Michael goes into the hospital to stalk Laurie Strode, killing some people along the way. Fairly amusing, but sometimes it just gets a little boring. But Laurie Strode, when she tries to struggle to get away, she's drugged. And imagine doing that, trying to save your life. And later on, Dr. Loomis, with that nurse from the beginning when they were going to get him in the asylum, she tells Dr. Loomis,
Dr. Loomis,
Laurie,
please listen to me. There's a file on Michael Myers that nobody knew about.
I've seen everything.
No, it was hidden, sealed by the court after his parents were killed. Now, after the governor heard what happened tonight, he authorized Dr. Rogers to open it.
What file?
It isn't fair. They should have allowed you to examine everything. That girl, that Strode girl, that's Michael Myers' sister. She was born 2 years before he was committed. 2 years after, his parents died and she was adopted by the Strodes. They requested that the records be sealed in order to protect the family.
Jesus, don't you see what he's doing here in Haddonfield? He killed one sister 15 years ago. Now he's trying to kill the
how
other.
do you like that? She has every right to be scared because Michael wanted his family extinct, killing them all. But in the original movie, the reason why Michael Myers was stalking Laurie because she went to his house, and so in the sequel he just decided the reason why he was stalking her was because it was his biological sister. And while this here was in theaters, on the movie of the week, they added some more additional stuff to the first Halloween movie when they were airing it on TV, hinting that Michael is after his sister, showing the additional stuff. And you can find it on VHS of the extended edition. It might be on DVD, but we're not sure yet. It's really cool. Some of it is a little overly long, but oh well. It's a real gem, this one. But if you want to only watch the first one and pretend that Laurie was never his sister, that he just killed her because he went to his house, just rent the one without the extended edition, or watch it or download it. The extended edition, mind you, extended edition is available to download, so a lot of people are doing that lately. That's why rental stores, like I keep my rental store here, my own rental store, private rental store, here alive, but others are just shutting down. Blockbuster went out of business and everything. So then when Dr. Loomis tries to come in to save the day, it's so cool watching the explosion and seeing Michael falling to his death of the fire. And we're supposed to think that's the last of its kind, and they were going to make more Halloween sequels, but with different stories. And that's what came along with Season of the Witch. It is by a John Carpenter film, still. And it's basically about an evil toy maker who makes masks. And somebody goes down to discover what's happening here with this estranged woman who says her father was killed by these androids. And so they go to this city that's very strange because curfew is at 6 p.m.
It's 6 o'clock. It's 6 o'clock. Curfew. Curfew. All residents of Santa Mira, please clear the street. Curfew is now in effect. Please confine your activities to your own homes. Thank you. Have Have a very pleasant evening.
And there's this TV commercial airing saying, while the Halloween movie is showing, be prepared to watch this one while you're wearing your mask.
It's 4 days to Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. It's 4 days to Halloween, Silver Shamrock. It's 4 days to Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. It's 4 days to Halloween, Silver Shamrock.
Yes, kids, you too can own one of the big Halloween 3. That's right, 3 horrific masks to choose from. They're fun, they're frightening, and they glow in the dark.
And, it doesn't look pretty when there's a sneak preview of this spoiled little brat with his sarcastic father and fruitcake mother watching in a TV to find out what happens. It's really, really creepy. Let's look here, folks.
It's time. It's time. Time for the big giveaway.
This is just the same old stuff.
Halloween is come. All you lucky kids with silver shamrock masks, gather round your TV set. Put on your masks and watch.
Honey, don't get too close.
All
You'll ruin your
skeletons, all
eyes.
jack-o'-lanterns. Gather round and watch. Watch the magic pumpkin. Watch.
I think this whole thing is a big joke. I mean, look at this.
And so this guy tries to tries to make sure the TVs don't air this on Halloween night because the world is going to be devoured. And the guy who owns this factory made with masks is, I think, from another universe. He's an evil genius.
I'm not drunk. Listen, you have to get rid of the mask. Just... Linda, listen.
It's time for the big giveaway. Halloween is come. All you lucky kids with silver shamrock masks, gather around your TV set. Put on your masks and watch. All witches, all skeletons, all jack-o'-lanterns. Gather around and watch. Watch the magic pumpkin.
Out, it means the death of millions of people, everyone watching. Don't you understand that? Well, say it's a bomb, then say whatever you want. Say whatever you like, just get it off the air. Please, you just... No, I can't prove it. You've got to believe me. Believe me. Take it off the air now, please. You've got to. It means...
Please excuse the interruption. We're having technical problems. Please stand by.
It's time. It's time.
The third commercial, it's still on, please. Take off the third channel. The third channel, it's still running. Stop it, please. For God's sake, please stop it. There's no more time. You've got to... Please, stop it. Stop it now. Turn it off. Turn it off. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
Then they were going to make another one, but people requested for Michael Myers to come back. So let's look here. The Return of Michael Myers, Halloween 4. Yes, Michael Myers survived the fire incident and is in a long coma and is put away in a stretcher, but then he finds out Laurie is killed in a car accident beforehand and had a daughter, and that's what awakens Michael Myers. He has a niece! And so he tries to stalk her. This, pretty interesting, but just above average movie. Nothing that great. But there is, there was comedy adding in slasher films. So there's the odd comedy with Michael disguised in another mask, which is supposed to be a boyfriend of another girl's, and he tells him to take her to the party. And does so, and doesn't kill her yet. And there's a barn with cute kittens in it and stuff like that. Yeah, I just I think that's the one. With the cute kittens, I think that was... Let's see here. There was a part 5. Yes, sorry to spoil it, folks. Yeah, who knows? Well, okay, part 4 and 5. So I'll review these both together. Part 4, you know, there's the boyfriend, played by Sasha Jensen, who starred in my favorite all-time movie, Dazed and Confused, who was not faithful to his girlfriend and is making out with the high school snob. And we think, you know, we can't wait for Michael Myers to kill her, and he does so. And it's really cool seeing some of the adventurous moments here. And there's redneck hunters to top it off, trying to find Michael down, hunt Michael down. And it's done in some slapstick way.
Come on.
Shit, Earl. It's Ted Hollister.
You dumb son of a bitch. You said you saw Myers.
Then when Michael finally gets, when we think he's being killed off in a mine, old mine, just getting buried down.
Calm down, calm down. Are you all right? Are you all right? Where's James?
Jamie! Get away!
Don't touch him, Jamie!
Get down!
Suddenly, the mask comes on to the face of Michael's niece, and she goes in to kill someone, trying to pursue to kill someone. The end. That's a cool ending, because to lead to part 5... yet is sleeping in a hermit's place until Halloween and leaves and goes on a killing spree where there's a party, and I think that's where the barn where the cute kittens were. Yes, I believe I'm right there. The little girl, which is played by Danielle Harris, I forgot to mention, who played the girl is, I'm trying to remember her name. Laurie Strode's daughter, yes. And so she goes and she starts to speak again eventually. And Michael tries to run her over, and there's also the Meyer showing them going to the Myers house and stuff like that. And he takes off his mask so she asks for a sec to see what he looks like. And there's a tear rolling down Michael's eye, and I'm kind of wondering if wearing a mask makes him a killer, because he stops killing her for a while.
Uncle? Boogeyman? Let me see. You're just like me. Let me.
Then the terror starts again, and then Michael gets caught eventually and is sent to a prison, barred down, but then there's a black guy in the mask, blows up the jail, and Michael is loose. And then the end. We think there's not going to be another sequel because it's like, let's see here. 6 years later, they make another sequel, finally. I saw this one in theaters. Let's see here. Halloween. The Curse of Michael Myers. A lot of people hated this movie. It was a box office failure. But call me kooky, it was my favorite sequel. And we were all thinking Michael would be dead for good. And so Michael's niece is impregnated, and Michael kills her, and it's played by a different actress this time. Tommy Doyle returns, but it's a different actor, not Brian Andrews, because they couldn't find Brian to do the sequel. He was missing in the action for a while. So he's obsessed with Michael Myers. Now it's Laurie Strode's relatives living in the Myers house. They finally bought the house. That makes Michael very angry because there's more graphic violence here. There's this asshole father who, just doesn't love his family. He's a drunk, comes home drunk, and Michael kills them off one by one. Lots of blood, and the asshole father, he kills him, electrocuting him, and his head explodes. For a slasher film, that was controversial, apparently, during its box office release. I saw on the news about it. But it was perfect. And then Michael, we find out a cult is trying to create the Myers legacy, and Donald Pleasance, this was sadly his last film before he died. You could tell he was not doing very well. He seemed very sick, so they try to rescue everyone from the clutches of Michael Myers, as well as the baby that was born, because of course, Michael killed the niece, and now it's his great niece. So they're trying to escape him from the clutches of Michael Myers. And Tommy Doyle, oh boy, does he ever try to kill Michael Myers brutally with a steel pipe. It looked, if you're not into extreme violence, you do not want to see the scene, but it is perfect. Right away, you think, this is the end of Michael Myers. He's creamed, dead as a doornail. But then we see at the end his mask off, and we hear Dr. Loomis going, ah! But, and then when the closing credits were rolling up, when we were convinced that was the end, we were saying, no, they can't do that! But there was a director's edition of it, when they were going to have it released without the graphic violence, that Michael Myers, however, was normal again, and Dr. Loomis was turning into the evil. So it explains that a little more, but it's not as good as I'm glad they went with the other one.